Hello, my name is Michael Camper, and I am part of the audio team at Epic Games. This is the second in a series of short videos to help you understand how to use the audio features available in the beta release of Unreal Editor for Fortnite, which I'm also referring to as UEFN. For more detailed information on working with UEFN, I've provided some official documentation links in the description below. In the first video, I provided a quick overview of UEFN, giving you some tips on how to navigate the editor and organize your project. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to take sound cues and place them into your island using audio player devices, as well as to walk you through the user options available on the device. All of the audio devices in UEFN can be accessed via the Content browser. Navigate to the Fortnite and Devices folders and search for or scroll to the audio player. You can then drag the audio player directly into the viewport and place it where you want in your island. Right now, there is an issue with the mesh on the device not displaying properly in the UEFN viewport. As you can see right now, the only thing visible is the audio component speaker icon. If we look in the details window of the audio player, there is a visible in-game checkbox. If we check that, we can see what the mesh is supposed to look like in the viewport. Now, if we leave that checked and launch the experience, we will be able to see it during gameplay. That is an issue that will be fixed very soon. Looking at the details window for the audio player, let's go through the various settings available to us. The first is, as it should be, what audio file is it set up to play? Each audio player only plays one audio file or sound cue. The audio player has this sound cue, Stinger Accent 01Q, as its default setting. You can easily find whatever file you're using in the device by clicking on the folder Spyglass button, and it takes you right to where the file is in the Content browser. You can change the selected file a few different ways. The first is by using the drop-down menu and doing a search to find the audio file or sound cue you wish to use. The second is by selecting the file in the Content browser and clicking this arrow button under the audio file slot. The third is to simply drag the file you want into the slot. Next in the details window is the volume adjustment slider. This allows you to adjust the file playback to be louder or softer. The slider works as a multiplier, so that setting the number to 2 makes the loudness of the audio double, while setting it to 0.5 cuts the loudness in half. The fade-in duration and fade-out duration allows you to set a gradual rise in volume for the audio when it is initially played and then when it is stopped. This may be useful in the case of an ambience file, such as a looping wind sound, so that when the audio is triggered to start, it doesn't immediately start playing at full volume, but instead gradually gets louder, and vice versa for when the file is stopped. Under the Advanced menu, we have Enable During Phase. This setting determines when the audio is played during the experience. Always means during all phases. None, of course, means never. Pre-game means during a lobby phase of an experience. Gameplay only means only during actual gameplay state of your experience. Create only means the audio only plays while in creative mode. Restart audio when activated basically means that if checked, the audio will restart every time the audio player is triggered to play. If it is not checked, then the audio will not retrigger when it is already playing. Play on hit means the audio will play if the audio player device is hit by a player. This includes a player's pickaxe or other weapons. In order for this to work in an experience, you have to have the visible in-game box checked. Can be heard by is a way to limit who is hearing the audio from the device when it is triggered. Everyone means that the audio will be able to be heard by all the players. Instigator only means that the one player that triggered the audio device will be able to hear the audio. The two options having to do with registered players I will circle back on in the next video when I discuss how triggering of the audio device works. Play location lets you target where the audio will be heard from. Device means on the audio player itself. Local player means the audio will play from the instigating player. And again, I'll talk more about registered players in the next video. Playback speed is how fast the audio will be played back when triggered. A setting of 1 is the default normal playback speed for the audio. Any lower setting means the playback will slow down and become elongated. A higher setting, and the audio will play back faster and be shorter in duration. Enable spatialization allows you to select if the audio plays globally and uniformly throughout the island, or if the audio is specifically playing from one point. Leaving the box checked means that if a player turns away from the device, the audio that is playing will sound like it's coming from the side or behind the player. This is good for audio coming from a specific stationary object, like a machine on the island. Unchecking the box means the audio sounds like it is coming from everywhere, which is appropriate for global ambient sounds, like inside of a forest. Enable volume attenuation lets you determine the distance which the audio will play from the device. Checking this box means that attenuation is active and a distance drop-off of the audio will occur. Unchecking means that there is no drop-off. If you are using the audio player for a global sound, you will usually want to have the attenuation box unchecked. Attenuation function lets you determine the ramp at which the attenuation increases or decreases. A linear setting means the ramp is a straight line. A logarithmic setting means the ramp is more of a downward curve shape. The mesh selection allows you to change the speaker mesh into almost any other mesh available in your project. Finally, the attenuation settings help you determine how far away the audio will begin to drop off into silence. If you look at the audio player in the viewport, you can see a set of yellow circles around the device. These are only visible when you select the device in the viewport or in the outliner. The inner sphere represents the distance from the device at which the audio will remain at its set volume. The outer sphere represents the distance from the inner sphere, where the volume of the sound will start to decrease into silence. In the Details window, the attenuation min-distance setting controls the radius of the inner sphere. You can see how, as I adjust the radius of the inner sphere, the outer sphere adjusts accordingly. You will probably need to play with the attenuations to find the most appropriate sounding drop-off settings for your sounds based on how they'll be used in your island. Enable Attenuation Visuals provides you with a denser visualization for the attenuation spheres. This becomes increasingly useful when your island starts getting very populated with all the other static meshes and props that will be used in your experience. That's it for the user options on the audio player. In the next video, I'll discuss the various ways in which we can trigger your audio device to play and stop sounds in your island experience. I will also be demonstrating how to launch your experience and test it in live edit mode. Until then, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy creating your own islands in Unreal Editor for Fortnite.